All right, now let's shift focus to the pharma space and let's talk about Biocon. Goldman Sachs has invested $150 million in its biologicals arm, and to talk more on this, we are joined by Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, who is the chairperson, executive chairperson of Biocon. Good morning, Mr. Shaw. Thank you for joining us on ET Now. This is Cheryl on the other side. Can you talk about the deal with Goldman Sachs for your biological arm, and this one, the one with $150 million, seems to be a meaningful one compared to the previous investments?
Yes, as we had stated earlier, we were going to take pre-IPO investment, and this is an important investment because we are very particular that we must have a marquee investor base, when we go public. So I think Goldman Sachs absolutely brings in a very strong, endorsement and a presence of a very marquee investor.
And hi, Mrs. Shaw. Good morning. Can you talk about what the total stake sold is and the fundraise, and will the next leg of this biologics funding be via listing?
Yeah, I think if you look at the valuation, then of course the stake sale is very small. And we obviously are going to have a much bigger offering at the time of the IPO. So I think this was really, as I had mentioned earlier, was a way to basically set a benchmark to make people understand what the value of the company is and how we are going about creating value. So having investors like Goldman Sachs and Tata Capital and True North actually have, basically allowed us to explain our value creation journey much better.
About your biologics arm, it will need capex as it is going ahead. So where will the money actually be used? Will it go into R&D?
Yes, absolutely. As you know, this is a very capital-intensive business. We are actually one of the very few companies in the country that is investing so heavily in biosimilars. As you know, we've decided that we must be a vertically integrated company. So from lab to market, we've made all the investments necessary in R&D, manufacturing, and of course now a commercial engine. So I think with all this, the demand for capital is going to be quite high. And given the kind of growth trajectory that we have set ourselves, I think this investment and also other investments which we raised during IPO are going to be extremely important.
Right, Mrs. Shaw. And, is there more in the offering from Biologics or any other pre-IPO placement before the listing?
We might be looking at a few others before the IPO is, embarked on. So what I would say is at this stage, we are evaluating other options as well.
Ms. Shaw, when we talk about biologics, do you continue to maintain the high growth with a sales target of $1 billion in the next 1 to 2 years?
Well, the growth is going to be very strong. But as you know, COVID has set our business back because we have it stopped us in our growth trajectory because of all the various challenges we had due to COVID. So, we will still try to get to the $1 billion target, but even if we don't quite make it there, I think we will be very close. So I think that's the aim. We would like to see how the markets recover, how the business recovers post-COVID. And based on that, obviously, we will make a judgment call as to how close we can get to that target.
All right, Ms. Shaw, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for joining us and taking us through the latest development that is coming in the biologics arm. And that is Kiran Mazumdar Shaw of Biocon.